Everybody, this is Arindam Bag here, and today our topic is crime and punishment. In my earlier presentation, I give you a short detail, or rather a brief introduction and biography of Fyodor Dostoevsky, and today we are going to deal with the novel itself. And here it is. We have this character map in front of us. So let us see what are the names we have here. So you can see that the map is bit small in the sense because the number of characters in this novel, they are very few. I can say you can see at least seven characters in this map. In the middle you have this Raskolnikov. So he is the protagonist, and in this map you can see actually what he is: student who conceives of a theory of the Ubermensch. He uses this theory to justify murder and so on. And the relationships he has around him, his siblings are like Dunia, and then he murders this one, Ivanovna, and Elizaveta Ivanova, and then confess crimes to Sonia, and then uh, there is an investigative officer, and he has a friend. He had a friend actually, this one, and um, Dunya had a relationship with this character, Vidralyagov. So these are the names we have here. So pretty much small, but you need to remember the relationships, how they're connected to each other, how they're um, interlinked with each other. So basically, we can see that the protagonist Raskolnikov murdered this two lady, and the story revolves around this incident. And rest of the part, they are like associates. So one more thing I would like to say, that I have only one class in a week, so it's pretty much difficult for me to complete all the things. If I try to do it um, as I did earlier, then it will take huge time. I was checking it, so this is my plan over here. So you can see the plot here. I'm using wiki in this case. I'm not using cliff notes, because clip notes is bit longer, and chapters are divided also. So I need to conclude all the things within at least today and the next class. So here it is. So you can see six parts you have in this novel, and there is also an epilogue. So that's all. So I need to complete the story within this time frame, that is only 2 or 3 classes. So let us start. What do you have here? So here the character is Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov. So Russian name, typical Russian name, obviously difficult to pronounce. A former law student he was, and his financial condition was not good. That's why he's mentioned here, extreme poverty. And he used to live where? In St. Petersburg. So basically, he was isolated, kind of antisocial. So he abandons all the attempts to support himself, and he was planning to murder an elderly pawnbroker. Why? To rob. The financial condition of him was responsible for this kind of reckless decision. On the pretext, so uh, he met another character. The name of that character is mentioned over here. He met this character in a tavern, and the name of that character is Semyon Zakharovich Marmeladov. So he is another character. I guess his name is not in that you know character map. He was basically a drunkard, and recently he squandered his family's wealth. So what do you expect from this? A drunkard, definitely, um, who lost the control of his life, and our protagonist Raskolnikov is also kind of that pretty much they are very close in that part. Both of them are ruined. But the difference is Raskolnikov is desperate, but Marmeladov is not. So Marmeladov uh, tells him about his teenage daughter Sonia, who happens to be a prostitute to support the family. So every family has their own story. Every people has their own struggle in their life. So we should not judge. Most of the time we judge people that he is good or she is bad, or she is good, he is bad. It's very easy to label someone, but we never try to understand what was the reason behind this kind of activity. So a teenage daughter like Sonia, who has no option but to become a prostitute just to support her family. So the next day, Raskolnikov receives a letter from his mother where she describes that his sister, Donia, you remember in that character map, Donia is his sister. Let me show you it again. See this one? Here it is. So I'm keeping it in this side so that things might be easier for you. So his mother informed him that his sister is having a bit problem, and she was working as a governess, and her ill-intentioned employer is Vidrigalyov, this particular fellow. So you know this is a very common problem with the girls, with the women, when they're working, when they have to take some profession to support themselves or to support their family. Um, the world is not a very good place, I must admit. So Dunia was also a victim of that. Vidro Galiov was having evil intention. So to escape her vulnerable position, she was asking for some kind of help from Raskolnikov. So what she did actually, Dunia has chosen to marry a wealthy suitor, Luzin. The name of Luzin is not mentioned over here in this map, and whom they are coming to meet in Petersburg. There is a detailed letter suggesting that Luzin is a conceited opportunist who is seeking to take advantage of Dunia's situation. So Raskolnikov was enraged um, at his sister's sacrifice. The way, understanding this thing that his brother-in-law is not a his would-be brother-in-law is not a good person. Still, um, his sister is going after him just for the financial condition. So he feel bad about it. So feeling it as the same as the Sonia felt compelled to do, and he realized that Sonia must have been compelled to do things which she is right now doing it, not very happily, obviously. So, when understanding his own poverty and importance, his thoughts return to his idea, the very original idea to commit a crime. A further series of internal and external events seem to conspire him to compel him toward the resolution to enact it. So, in a state of extreme nervous tension, Raskolnikov steals an egg and makes his way once more to the old woman's apartment. The very old woman I mentioned about, the pawnbroker. He gains access by pretending he was something to pawn and then attacks her with the axe, killing her. And the event was like this, that when he committed this, he also kills her half sister, Elizabeth, who happens to stumble upon the scene with the crime. He do not have any plan to kill Elizabeth. I'm removing this one just to zoom it. So it was quite unintentional. He didn't plan for Elizabeth, but she happens to stumble upon the scene, and for his own safety, he killed her. So he was not a professional murderer. So he was extremely nervous about his actions. He steals only a handful of items and small purse, leaving much of the pawnbroker's wealth untouched. See, he was not a trained or professional killer. He was not a criminal actually. He is a good person, but he do not have anything to do. He cannot help himself. That's why he is committing this crime. And there he goes. He killed the pawnbroker, but he didn't touch the wealth. There was enormous things, but he didn't touch it. Only a small part of it he took away. Due to sheer good fortune, he manages to escape the building and return to his room undetected. So in this part, he is lucky. In this part, he is lucky. He managed to escape the building and return to his room undetected. So in the part 2, we have a feverish, semi-delirious state. Raskolnikov conceals the stolen item and falls asleep, exhausted. Next day, he was extremely alarmed when he got a summon from the police station, and he was extremely nervous that police must have some sort of information about the murder he committed. But it turns it is just a debt notice from his landlady because he was unable to pay his rent. So the officers bureau there, when he went there, they were talking about this murder, and hearing all the things in the police station regarding the same murder which he has committed, Raskolnikov faints, but quickly recovers. But he found that everyone is looking at him in suspicion. Actually, nothing, but it is his mind. He has committed the crime now, so that's why he thinks that everybody, oh my god, everybody must have been aware of this situation. Fearing a search, he hides the stolen items under a building block in an empty yard, noticing in humiliation that he hasn't even checked how many money is in the purse. He was in a hurry. He hid all the things in an empty building there, and he was unable to count the money also, that how much money he's actually stole. So without knowing why, he visits his old university friend Razmuki. So he was his friend. You can find that character, the top of that character map, who observes that Raskolnikov seems to be very seriously ill. Finally, he returns to his room, where he succumbs to his illness and falls into prolonged delirium. After several days, Razmukin has tracked down and has been nursing him. Still feverish, Raskolnikov didn't, the shock of the event, the murder he committed. He was in a shock. His body was in a shock. He was feeling ill, and the situation is getting out of hand, and he needs some sort of nursing. So Razmukin was that person who was nursing him. Raskolnikov listens nervously to a conversation between Razmukin and the doctor about the status of the police investigation into the murder. There is a music called Mikolka, who was working in a neighboring flat at the time, has been detained. So, in that murder, the murder which Raskolnikov committed, another person was detained, and the name of that person is Mikolka. And the old woman's client are being interviewed. Clients in the sense, she was a pawnbroker, no? She used to keep things and provide money, so whatever they need, or whoever need. They were interrupted by the arrival of Luzin, Dunyan's fiance, who wishes to introduce himself, but Raskolnikov deliberately insults him and kicks him out. He knows that he is not a good person, so he had a bad impression on him. So he angrily tells the others to leave as well, and then sneaks out himself. And he was looking up for the news about the murder and what's the progress of the investigation. Seems almost to want to draw attention to his own part in it. He encounters police officer Zamyotov, who was present when he fainted in the bureau, and openly mocks the young man's unspoken suspicions. So he returns to the scene of crime again and relives the sensation, what he did actually. He angers the workmen and caretakers by asking casual questions about the murder, even suggesting that they accompany him to the police station to discuss it. Now, he don't know what to do, whether or not to confess. He seems Marmaladov, who has been struck mortally by a carriage. So, there has been an accident, and Marmaladov was involved in it. He rushes to help and succeeds in conveying the stricken man back to his family's apartment, calling out Sonia to forgive him. Marmaladov dies in his daughter's arms. So Raskolnikov gives his last 25 rubles. Rubles is the currency of Russia, which was sent to him by his mother. To Marmaladov's consumptive widow, Katerina Ivanova, the name is a bit difficult, Ivanovna, saying it is the repayment of a debt to his friend. Basically, he received that money from his mother and then he again uh, gave it back to Marmeladov. Feeling renewed, Raskolnikov calls on Razmukin and then go back together Raskolnikov's building. Upon entering the room, Raskolnikov is deeply shocked to see his mother and sister sitting on the sofa. They've just arrived in Petersburg and are ecstatic to see him. But Raskolnikov is unable to speak and collapses in faint. So this is the second time he collapsed. First in the police bureau, second in his own apartment after watching his mother and his sister in his apartment. So that will be all for today. I hope in another class I will try to complete all the things. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.